Hi guys, welcome to another short video by AntiquesArena. My name is Walter O'Neill, and in this video I'm going to talk to you a little on some ways you can value your items. As antique dealers and dealers of collectibles and things, we don't always know the value. We have a good idea from years and years and years of experience as to what we've sold stuff in the past and what we've seen others selling things for. And we do tend to remember that. But prices change every single day. What could be worth £100 today could be worth £20 tomorrow. So every time we buy an item, we have a certain amount of research to do. Whether it's an 18th century drinking glass, a bronze figurine, a piece of porcelain, it doesn't matter. Now, some of the ways I do research, obviously I have all my specialist books. Now, the books are brilliant, as in they'll help you identify if something's real or if it's fake. They'll tell you what to look for and how to identify different things. So you do need your books. But to be honest with you, it's not a lot you can't find online if you do enough digging. So if you can't afford the books or you can't find the books, you can get 90% of your research online. But once you've got an item and you're confident it's real, how do you go about valuing the item? There's a number of ways. You can go on to eBay, and what I recommend you do is you don't look at what people are asking, because people can ask the earth. What you do is go on advanced settings and you look at sold prices, and then you look at the top end, the bottom end, the average, and work out of the price the items are pulling. Then you have people with websites like myself. Now, we tend to be specialists in an area. I know one or two websites that deals purely in 18th century glass, and the prices they achieve is unbelievable. I can never achieve anywhere close to what they get, purely because they are a specialist site and people go to them because they're a specialist, so they're willing to pay more for the help or for the authentication, whichever way you want to put it. So you've got to be careful when looking at other people's websites. What you're looking for ideally is sold prices. You want to know what people have paid for the items. Now, you can buy millers, or you can buy guides, price guides. The only downside is, as I've said, prices change daily. Let's say, for example, a miller's is printed at the beginning of this year. What's to say what's worth £300 at the beginning when they print it is still worth £300 at the end. Trends change, and the prices change. As with book guides, in the beginning I used to buy book guides on Beswick, on Wade, on storybook figures, on porcelains, and it would say this storybook figure produced in such and such by such and such is worth this much. You'd never get half the book value. So where do you place your item not to take it out to the market so people just run away from it, but at the same time you're not giving it away? Well, as I say, one of the ways is looking at the sold lists on eBay. Another would be to scour Google, and find sold items, not selling items. But there is a third way, and that is using a website called the Saleroom. Now, the Saleroom is a really good website. It gives you the actual prices sold in auctions right throughout the country. It shows you the auction estimate, the auction description, the photographs, and then the price achieved. Now I'm going to show you a search in just a moment on the Saleroom and show you just what you can do. But you can't just go on the Saleroom, because auctions, as I've already talked to you in another video about auctions, auctioneers tend to take stuff in at a price that, well, let's be honest, protects the auction house. I watched a bargain this morning, and to be totally honest with you, she valued a 19th century cranberry and solid silver double-ended perfume bottle for £8 to £10. Not being funny, she'd pay that for a burger and a cup of tea. Let's have some common sense. These auctioneers, a lot of the time, are putting valuations on the stuff of £5 and £10, and it's just not it's not sensible. So you can't always go on the auctioneer's guide, but what you got to do is you got to take it, you got to look at the auction prices achieved, get an average, look at the eBay sold prices, get an average, and then you have to come up with a happy medium that gives you a good profit, but also makes you feel you're not giving the item away and you're not getting robbed. So I'm going to bring the computer over now and I'm going to show you how to do a completed search on eBay, how to do a search for the same item on the internet and show you the comparison on the prices there, and then I'm going to pull up the Saleroom and I'm going to give you a comparison on the prices of the three of them, and then hopefully you can get a rough idea then on valuations and how I tend to work. There's a lot of things as I say, we buy by gut or by eye. We know if something's worth the money they're asking. We may not know the exact figure it's going to sell for, but we know if something's cheap enough that there's a profit on there. So I hope you find the video interesting, and I'll do some close-ups for you now. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do first is type in the Saleroom, which is the website I'm registered with, and you'll see there it comes up first of all. Now this website you can use for online bidding at auctions, you can use for searching upcoming items if you're a collector, you can get your price guide and so forth. So for the price guide, which is what this video is about, we come across here. I'm obviously signed in, I'm already signed in. This site is £5.65 off. It's less than £6 a month for this, so it's well worth doing. So you go to prices, then to price guide. For this example, I'm going to search for an 18th century Rythan dwarf ale. Now, dwarf ale glasses, 18th century glasses is something I do a lot of. So now I filter the results. You come here, you can filter the results. I want to know what the highest sold prices are. Obviously we all want to achieve the best money for our items. So as you can see, estimate here is 100 to 150, price achieved 250. Estimate here, but there's a group of 11 drinking glasses in that, and they only achieved £180. So you work that out, that's, cheap. You're talking £14 a glass, something like that, £13–14 a glass. A single one here, but that looks like a flamiform, as in the Rythan or the spiral is on the outside of the glass, but they achieved 150 there for one. But what you got to do is come down until you can find a single. This one here has a folded foot. I've talked to you about folded feet on glass before in my 18th century glass guide. So I'm going to come down. There's four here, pretty standard dwarf ales. They were 80 to 120 and they achieved 85. Again, you have a single. It's sold for £10, 20 to 50. So this gives you an idea now of the price range. Everything from a tenner up to £80. So then we come across to eBay. Now for eBay, I want to do so there's your search again, 18th century Rythan dwarf ale glass, the exact same search. Now I'm going to look first of all at asking prices. There's your first one there with a spiral in the body, £29. We'll look for another. There's another there, and they're £125. See what I mean about there's no comparison on asking prices. There again, another Rythan dwarf ale, £45. Same again, £40. So the basic price they're asking for this, well, there's a flamiform again. I don't know if you can see it, the actual ribbon or spiraling is actually on the outside of the bowl, if you like, it's raised. And we just saw one of them achieve 150 in the auction. They're asking 325 on here. The Rythans, standard Rythans, they're asking as much as 120, 150, and on the Saleroom they're as much as £10. So what we're going to do now is we're going to scroll down to, hang on, sold listings. Down here on the left hand side, click on sold. We want to see what people have sold this for. So there's one sold at 76.79. We come down and we have one. It's a very mild one, it's not a lot of spiral into it, £29. There's one for 32. So off those two now, you do a rough idea, you can get £30, £35 for a Ride and Dwarf Ale. You could ask more, but a realistic price is going to be £35, £40. Now what I do now is go to Google and I'll run the same search. 18th century ale. There we go, Dwarf Ale glasses. And there we have it. Have they got any prices on them? Right, well, private website, £250 for a Dwarf Ale, 325, but that is a Flamiform one again, like we just spoke about there, so fair enough with that one. Standard one, £45, so that's quite realistic. That's pretty much in line with the eBay prices. This, obviously, you can search anything. These are the three things I use to value my items. So guys, there you have it. As a dealer, you'll go out and you'll buy things and you'll buy from experience and you'll know what prices you can achieve on a lot of things. But if you use the three things there, the Google search, the Saleroom, £6 a month is so cheap, it's unbelievable, and it gives you access to online auctions and everything else. And then you got the Google, the online auction, and the eBay searches. You do a comparison of the three and you're going to get an average valuation that's fair to you and to the buyer. As I say, the key point is to sell. You want to make money, you don't want to lose money, but you don't want to be stuck with the item for years. So, I hope this video has helped you. I hope you found it interesting, and if you did, please feel free to subscribe. You'll find us on Facebook, Antiques Arena. You'll find us on eBay, Antiques Arena Clearance, and we have our own website, antiquesarena.co.uk. Thanks for watching, guys.